In this video, I'm going to show you how to complete the barbell bench press. I'm going to run through a 4-step process. So first, we're going to look at the muscles that it works. Second, we're going to look at the setup. Third, we're going to look at how to actually execute the exercise. And 4, we're going to look at some common areas to look out for when you're doing the barbell bench. There is one main muscle that this exercise works, and that is going to be your pectoral muscles, your chest muscles. There's going to be 2 secondary muscles that are going to help you stabilize yourself and perform the exercise, which is going to be your shoulders and your triceps, which is this little muscle here on the back of your arm. 2 different ways you can set up the bench press. Number 1 is on a rack like this, where you bring your bench and your barbell to the rack and set up the height manually, or you can go to one of the actual bench pressing equipment things that your gym probably has, where you'll see a bench that's pre-made onto a metal frame, and then there's places where you can set your bar at certain heights there. That's what more than likely you're going to be using. You want to make sure that your bar is centered and it's not pushed over to one side more than the other. And you also want to make sure, if you're putting weight on the bar, make sure that you've put the same weight on both sides. A lot of people will put a 5 kg on one side and a 10 on the other, not realize, go to lift it, and all of a sudden it's stuck on their chest and it's really awkward. Center your bar. If you're putting weights on the bar, make sure that both weights on each side are the exact same. Now from here, you want to sit yourself down on the bench, lie down on the bench, and start to get familiar with everything. You want to make sure that your eyes are directly under the bar. Lie down on the bench, make sure the bar is directly under your eyes. In terms of where you should put your hands on the bar so that they're just outside shoulder width, okay? Now you want to make sure, no matter where you put your hands on the bar, that your joints are stacked on top of each other. As you can see here, with the grip I have taken, that my wrist joint is directly stacked underneath my elbow joint. That is the position you want your arms to be in when you're doing this exercise. Place your hands on the bar just outside shoulder width apart, making sure that your joints are stacked on top of each other. From this position here, I want you to grab the barbell, lift yourself up slightly. Now retract your shoulder blades up toward your ears, slide them down, pinching them together. You want to hold that position and push them down into the bench, and you want to maintain that the whole way throughout this movement. That is going to create a natural arch in your lower back, which is completely fine. That's going to raise your chest closer to the bar and make the exercise slightly easier. In terms of feet position, you want to try and get your feet as close to your hip as possible. Now for me, who's been doing this for a while, you can see I'm able to go up onto my toes and get my feet really close to my hips. But if you find it more comfortable bringing them slightly closer to your hips but flat on the floor, that is completely fine as well. So now you've got your eyes directly under the bar, you've got your hands on the bar and your joints are stacked. You've retracted your shoulder blades back and down, you've pushed them down into the bench, you've got your feet as close to your hips as possible, and now what we're going to do is brace. So what we're going to do is we're going to fill our chest with air, we're going to fill our chest with air, then we're going to push it down into our stomach, pushing our stomach muscles out, and that's when you know you're braced. When you're braced, you're going to push your hands against the barbell and it's going to lift out from the rack. And once it's out from the rack, you should notice that it's slightly in front of your eyes, which is completely fine. From this position, what you're going to do is slowly lower the bar just below the line of where your nipple is. So the bar should finish just below your nipple. And then once the bar has touched your chest, you're going to push your feet into the floor, engaging your glute, driving your hands into the bar and putting it back into the starting position. Now you'll notice that you're not bringing the bar straight down and bringing it straight back up. When you're aiming to get the bar just below the line of the nipple, the bar should sweep slightly forward and down, and when you're pushing back up, it'll sweep back into that position. So there's a slight natural curve that the bar path will take. The bar shouldn't be going straight up and straight back down. For each rep, what I want you to do is try and bend the bar. That's going to make sure that your elbows don't flare out and keep them in. Elbows in, they're going to protect your shoulders and allow you to have a strong foundation when you're pressing off your chest. You're going to brace at the top, 3 seconds on the way down, touch the chest just below the nipple line, drive your feet into the floor, engage the glutes, drive up with your hands and back up into your starting position. That is how you're going to do the barbell bench press.